This is the story I did not want to report on. It has to be talked about. It's an article written by Mehdi Hassan. I'm sure most of you know who he is. And it's titled, "Is Israel Just Killed a Pregnant Palestinian Woman? And Western Media Doesn't Care." And I'm going to read you some of it. "To my unborn child with you, I will become a mother for the first time. I can't believe how quickly this pregnancy has passed and how you have grown quietly within my womb, waiting for my first joy." These were what would tragically turn out to be the last words posted online by Sundus Shalabi, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly, who was 8 months pregnant. Early on Sunday morning, the 23-year-old Palestinian mother-to-be was killed by the Israeli military in the Nur Shams refugee camp on the outskirts of Tulkarem, I think, in the occupied West Bank, in what the Palestinian Foreign Ministry is calling a crime of execution and the targeting of defenseless civilians. Shalabi and her husband, Yazan Abu Shola, were shot in their car with her husband critically injured. Their unborn child was also killed in the attack. Medical teams were unable to save the baby's life due to the Israeli occupation preventing the transfer of the injured to the hospital. Got that? The Israelis shot and killed an innocent young woman and then caused the death of her unborn baby too. Shocking, right? Depraved, murderous, and yet, as of Monday morning, there was no mention of Sundus Shalabi on the websites of the New York Times or the BBC, and only passing brief buried references to her death on the websites of the Washington Post and CNN. Also, over the weekend, 3 Israeli hostages were released by Hamas looking gaunt and sunken-eyed. Compare and contrast the coverage they received in the Western media with Shalabi. There were multiple and lengthy stories about their plight in the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, and the BBC. One of the headlines on the BBC website on Sunday night: "What will anger at sight of gaunt hostages mean for a fragile ceasefire?" Really? Gaunt hostages? How about the anger from Palestinians at the nonstop killing of women and children during this fragile ceasefire? Or do Palestinians' lives not matter? If anybody thinks this isn't fucking genocide, then you are on the other side and support this shit. I'm going to scream this shit at the top of my lungs as loud as I can, and I hope you do too.